Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a great show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. So Charles Barkley is back in the news after his recent appearance on the Dan Patrick Show. He's made a lot of headlines for his commentary on Stephen A. Smith and what took place between himself and LeBron and all of that. He gave his opinions. We actually covered that. But he also talked about some other things. And one of the things he discussed was how the Lakers are faring since the addition of Luka Doncic. You know, when they first got them, they got on this hot streak. I think they won, was it 8 games in a row? What was that before they got Luka? Anyway, they were looking really good. And people were saying, are they going to be title contenders? Can they come out of the Western Conference? Blah, 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 blah. And everyone was pretty high on the Lakers. And then over some time, things began to simmer down. And they ended up now over their last 10 games going 5-5. So 1-5, lost 5. They don't have a winning record on the road. And then some people now started to doubt whether or not the Lakers would be as good as advertised, certainly in the media. So when he was talking to Dan Patrick essentially asked him, hey, Charles, what are your thoughts about the Lakers now? Because you caught a lot of flack from people, some NBA fans saying, oh, you're a hater, da, 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 da. And in typical Charles Barkley fashion, he did not waste any time letting those people know that were coming at him that I told you I was right. Y'all were over there twerking it up, and it looks like I'm right thus far. But before we even get into what Chuck had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm very interested in the game between the Wizards and the New York Knicks. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for upfront. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is going to play exactly what Charles Barkley had to say. It's not a very long clip. Then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Chuck here.
What Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing this year is incredible. I mean, you know, last year people thought it was a fluke when the Thunder had the best record in the NBA. Now they double down like, nah, we are the best team in the NBA. They went out and plugged a couple holes they had with Caruso and Hartenstein. What the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing this year is flat out incredible. I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers, like, I think they can beat the Boston Celtics. There's 3 teams that win the championship. The Thunder, the Celtics, and the Cavs. That's it. Everybody else just playing. They just getting participation trophies.
The Lakers' chances,
They got 0 chance. I told you that a month ago. People went crazy. People went crazy when they had like 2 good weeks. You know, Dan, anytime you make a trade, you get a bump. They got a Luka bump. Now they're where they are. You know, but I was like, no, the Lakers are not contenders. It drives me crazy. They won some games, and they were going to get a bump. You get Luka, you're going to get a bump. Same thing when Jimmy Butler got a bump when he went to the Warriors. But it's OKC world, and probably Denver's probably the second best team in the West. But listen, they're all playing for second place. Nobody can beat the Thunder. I don't see anybody beating the Thunder.
So you heard what Charles Barkley had to say there. Well, let's just look at the standings right now, okay? Because the Lakers have won one game. They're on a 1-game streak. I don't know what you call that, a streak. They just beat. Who did the Lakers just beat? The Lakers just beat the Grizzlies. Yes, they won against the Grizzlies 134 to 127. And with that win, it put them back into the 4th spot in the Western Conference. Prior to that, they were the number 5th seed behind the Grizzlies, who've now lost a pivotal game. So that was a very, very important game for the Lakers to win. And then behind them in the 5th seed, you have the Grizzlies and you have the 6th seed Warriors. But the Lakers are only separated by, in terms of being in the 4th seed in the play-in tournament, by 3 losses. Now, why is that important? Because number one, the Lakers, I believe, have the 2nd or 3rd toughest schedule to close out the season. Let's look at their schedule moving forward. They're going to be playing the Rockets next. Then they're going to be playing against the Warriors. These are 2 playoff teams. Those are very important games. Then they have the Pelicans, which is cool, and I expect the Lakers to win that game. But then things get very difficult because they're going to be playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder for 2 consecutive games. So 4 out of the next 5 games are very tough opponents. You got the Rockets, you got the Warriors, you got the Thunder twice. Then after that, they get a break against the Mavericks. And then right after that, they play against the Houston Rockets. And then they close out the season with the Portland Trail Blazers. So just looking at their current schedule, the Lakers have 8 games. What is a possible record for the Lakers to close out these last 8 games? It's possible that the Lakers could lose 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the Lakers can either go 4-4, where they lose. No, yeah, they could go 4-4. No, they could lose against the Rockets. They could lose against the Thunder 2 games in a row, so that's 3. They could lose against the Rockets, right? So that's one scenario. Then they can end up being the Warriors, Pelicans, Mavs, Blazers. Then they could also be a scenario where they shock you and lose that Pelicans game. I think they'll beat the Warriors. That I do believe. And then they can end up going 3-5. So they have a very tough schedule. I think that if they go 500 over the next 8 games, is going to hand them 4 losses. Now, 4 losses could be kind of detrimental because then that could potentially land them in the play-in tournament picture. But I think it's important to mention the following. The Lakers, between the 4th seed and the 8th seed, are separated by 3 losses. So it means that those other teams would need to go on a pretty significant run. Now, if we look at teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, okay, who do they have coming up? They have the Celtics. Good luck to that. Good luck with you guys on that one. Then you have the Warriors. That's a bit of a toss-up. But then they have the Heat, which I believe they could possibly win. Then you have the Pistons, who've been playing pretty well. And then you have the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you have the Denver Nuggets. So they got some serious teams as well. Looking at the Warriors now, the Warriors have a tough schedule as well because they're going to be playing against the Grizzlies tonight. Very pivotal game. Then they got the Lakers. Then they got Denver. Then they got the Rockets. And then KD just went down. And then they got the Clippers at the end of the season. So I think the Warriors so far, their schedule is not as tough as the Lakers. And then, of course, you have the Clippers, the biggest joke in the NBA. They have the Magic, the Pelicans, the Mavericks. Now, here's what's interesting about the Clippers. The Clippers can win all 4 of those games, but I'm very sure that they're going to load manage Kawhi Leonard some way, somehow. Or the next 5 games, they could actually win it because they have the Spurs, but they will find a way to load manage Kawhi Leonard and basically screw it up. So that's the Clippers for you. Never expect anything out of these guys and Kawhi and these guys because they're always ready to load manage and throw games. I made my thoughts clear on a prior video. So what Charles is saying is essentially this. They've cooled down. Now, I haven't spent much time analyzing the Houston Rockets. A lot of people have, and they think that the Houston Rockets are a legitimate NBA team, a legitimate threat in the Western Conference. Some people still have a lot of confidence in the Denver Nuggets. I don't have as much as I used to, but obviously I could be wrong. If Jamal Murray gets hot in a playoff run, they become very, very dangerous. Obviously, you have Nikola Jokic there as well. The Oklahoma City Thunder are not to be trifled with, obviously. But I think the bottom seeds like the Lakers, Grizzlies, Warriors, Wolves, Clippers is a bit of a toss-up. Now, the Dallas Mavericks are in the play-in tournament picture, but I don't know. Well, they're there. They're there, so they could possibly still be there. But I think it's going to be a pretty interesting stretch towards the end of the season. But Chuck brings up some good points that, look, if they were as good as advertised, they would probably have a better record over the last 10 games. But we're going to see. how they're going to fare in these last 8 games, because these are going to be very, very critical games. So the question to you guys is twofold. Number one, what do you think about what Charles said? Do you agree with him, disagree? Number two, what do you think the Lakers record is going to be over the next 8 games? Do you think they're going to have a 500 record, below 500 record? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next show, and I'm out. Peace.